Good afternoon from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Kervin, and this is Rantin' Randy's Rant. All right, we've got two people out there. You can come on in. Uh, I want to start off with the happy part. For today, I've got mail. I got mail from uh, Brenda Westy in Riverview, Florida. She sent a nice letter for Grace and I, and a nice donation also. We appreciate that, Brenda. It keeps things going here, and I'm always happy to hear from any of you. All right. You people are a little bit shy today. Let's see what this is. Oh, I see what the problem is, people. It's telling me it's unable to connect the chat. Please try again later. I'm going to need to try again later when I'm on here live. All right, let's get down to it. Let's bang this one in. Good old hard-headed Donnie. I'll start off with the story. The Federal Judges Association is calling an emergency meeting for today in light of Bill Barr intervening in federal cases as never before. What he is doing, like in that sentence reduction, he is not supposed to do that. No AG in our history has ever intervened to suggest a lesser sentence in a trial. So that's completely new. And then they want to claim, yeah, I go back to Michael Cohen. Remember in the hearing in Congress, he said that Donnie uses code. That's the reason Barr knows what to do, because he knows what the code is. He knows what their president wants. And that's the reason he can claim that he hadn't been told by anyone to do anything on any case. And yet he's intervening in such a way that's never in our history has it happened before. But of course, Donnie could, but he didn't do it. Give me a damn break. In that the damn ex-governor of Illinois, the Democrat that was put in prison because he thought he could sell Barack Obama's seat in Congress, he's letting him out. He's commuting his sentence. Perhaps to try for Democrats to switch over and vote for him. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of Democrats that like criminals to go free. He should have served his sentence, but this asshole can't keep his nose out of anything. After all, he has declared himself king. The president's taxes will be going to the Supreme Court of the United States and all through the lower courts to reach there. And they also ruled against him in all the lower courts. So if this was a normal Supreme Court, they would find the same in the Supreme Court, that he has to release his taxes. To Congress. It should, oh, wait a minute. With Barr's DOJ, Oh, that's something that I want to talk about too. If you recall, Deutsche Bank around the transfer of power from Obama uh, to Donnie, the FBI was investigating Deutsche Bank, uh, and we're truly living in a banana republic when nothing has been done about it. Deutsche Bank thought first uh, was transition. It'll take a while, but they'll get back on it and hear from something from it. Let me try something over here and see if I'm able to. No, it's not letting me even go there. Let me type hello down here and see if that frees it up for y'all to come on in, because we're getting a good crowd out there. It's just I can't have you in the blue room or my own blue room here. I typed hello, and at least what I typed is now below that, but evidently you can't come in, because if you did or were able to, you would be here by now. But I'll carry on. Damn it. That's another thing I wanted to discuss before I go back into Donnie and all the bullshit going on. Uh, Facebook is really getting strange on us. Uh, my Facebook rant yesterday, I had to try 2 and 3 times on certain people uh, to even say hello or anything to them by name. It would come back and put a box around it. Try again. I'd try again, and it would come up with a little box on the screen saying that it took care of the request. No, it didn't. It wouldn't leave a box around it. That's what told me uh, each of you could not see it until I typed it in and it finally accepted it. This is happening all over the place. Now, I understand sometimes people will remove something having decided maybe they didn't want to put it that way, so they remove it. Now, that's different than me on my own post on Facebook is not allowing me to comment. Um, that's more like you go somewhere and in an unusual place, say a music group, suddenly the administrator decides that he'll put nicknames for Donnie, uh, and then decides, no, he better not do that. I could still see this, but uh, I could not comment, I could not like or whatever, and that's what popped up on the screen that the owner decided to remove it. So that explains that. Grace is laughing at Little House on the Prairie. uh, she's got on the earphones, so she doesn't hear me. Uh, I had a big feud yesterday with a. Uh, I'm going to tell her name. I'm tired of these damn Republicans. They want to win their point by coming to my timeline, putting something about, and I'll read what it was. It was Rhonda Maddox Gresham. She came on my timeline with a post about a Republican Congresswoman that is Native American, claiming all 5 tribes are voting for Trump. The source was the Washington Times. I'm going to check them out because I do not know them. I don't think they're reliable, and that's full of shit anyway. That's just another Republican talking point, because what she was talking about is Native Americans know better than most that they need to be able to get guns. So I'm going to research that. I think it's bullshit. And in fact, I said I was going to fact check the shit out of it. Just look at the financial on Trump organization. and how he's had foreign money uh, in his inaugural fund. His fraudulent university had to pay $25 million to settle, um, ripping off charities to the tune of $2 million that he's having to pay back to charities. Uh, and let's not forget to the Trump uh, pro Trump pack, excuse me, Lev Parnes and Igor Fruman, and $300,000 of foreign money to that pack. And then I believe this is on Rachel. Yeah, it is. Dark Towers by David Enrich. I think he's a writer for the New York Times, um, about how involved Deutsche Bank, Jared Kushner, and Donald Trump in shady dealings with Russia. Uh, McFadden at Deutsche Bank had flagged those transactions because it was against antitrust laws. After reporting, she was fired or moved to another division. Turns out that even though Trump defaulted, and you all recall that if you watch Rachel, he defaulted on a loan. They moved it to a different division, and then we're now figuring out why they loaned him more money. He was actually suing them over the $3 million he defaulted on. And it turns out it's Deutsche Bank's connection with VTB. Remember that Russian bank? And they're connected to all the other Russian banks, was covering his loans. Now, they can't say that for sure, but they've been laundering money for that Russian bank and all Russian banks, including the one that they have in Cyprus, for many years. And Deutsche Bank now claims they no longer have the years of his taxes. Well, where the hell did they go? Because they had told the courts that they had them and they would turn them in. And then Donnie stuck his ass into it and told them that he'd sue them if they did that. Okay, I covered that. And earlier on in the interview, Trump and Kirshner have ties to the mob like the Russian mafia. They have ties. They've had ties for years. Particularly Donnie, because Donnie was laundering money right after he built on Fifth Avenue, built Trump Tower. Some of his first customers were Russians. And of course, they buy it at a higher value, sell it at a lower value that launders the money back to the Russians. 2,000 former employees of the DOJ have signed on to Barr resigning from his office. And this man was telling, or they are telling, those 2,000 employees, former, are telling, if you see something unethical, to speak up. Now, I think this one I might have misheard. It says today is the day, more on the Roger Stone case. That will be, believe it, Thursday. Yeah, the 20th. That's when he will commute Roger Stone's sentence. Either that or he'll outright pardon him. And it's still up in the air, and that will be decided sometime today if Bloomberg's percentage in the poll is high enough to be in Wednesday's debate. That's all I'll say about him. He should not be there. DNC, again, changes its rules to allow the billionaire in. And that's unlike Tom Steyer. He had to do it through raising money and getting a high enough percentage in the polls to be in the debate. Now, that's different than what Bloomberg is just buying his way in. John Bolton is speaking out. All it's about is his book. That's what it's been about the whole time. He's now hoping that they clear him publishing the book, and he now speaks in public for a fee. And look at these people. You got John Kelly, you've got General Mattis, you've got Tillerson. They should have spoken up a long time ago. They don't do it. They only do it when it's convenient to do it. And lastly, on this page, we get to the story. Golf is the biggest expense footed by the taxpayer, and that goes into Donnie's pocket. I had that wrong, and it's later in the story, but I do recall how many times in 3 years that he's gone to his golf resorts, which means he pockets the money. He has played golf more than 247 times. Compare that with Obama in 8 years, and he's got Obama beat. This is the man that said he was going to be too busy, Republicans, to play golf. Now we know that was a bullshit story. And as I told you earlier, I'm going to be working on all 5 tribes of Native Americans are going to vote for Trump. And I'm going to check out that Washington Times, see how reliable that is. Which does beg for asking in 2018 or even now, why would Native Americans on reservations vote for a party that suppresses their votes? You recall, they have P.O. boxes and they can't register to vote because they don't have a home address on the registration they try to hand in. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to vote for him over guns. That's another area I'm going to look into. Barr's reputation and integrity is gone. He's already said he doesn't care about that. He's just like Giuliani. He's going to be dead one of these days, so who cares? He is and has been a partisan political tool for Donald J. Trump. He exonerated Trump long before the Mueller report came out. Then I said before, he doubled down on that 30 minutes to an hour before the report was released. Because these people that watch Fox News and other stations like that, they don't fact check. They don't take their head out of Fox, so they don't know. They only know what they hear. Let's see. Fox News is my next story from CNN. Fox News had Lindsey Graham and Sean Panties in a Wad Hannity defended Bill Barr last night, shamelessly ignoring witness intimidation and the judge's picture with crosshairs next to it in the Roger Stone case. let's see. And we all remember how Donnie did. He was going to have uh, the summit next year or this year at Doral until he realized, boy, you talk about a conflict of interest. And that would have been so apparent. But remember, he didn't understand why it would be wrong. He doesn't understand anything because he's all about himself. He is a narcissist. And he's out to fill his pockets with taxpayers' money. Corruption, corruption, corruption. Corrupts absolutely. I kind of miss y'all being out here on the chat. Hopefully that won't last. And I've noticed for what the last 3 weeks or so, or a good 2 weeks, they don't put my ugly mug, the picture I just took a while ago. They choose my high school as my cover picture for that. I don't know what that's about. And we get down to some of the stuff I saw today. Economy credit still goes to Obama, not Trump. He rode where the economy was going. He's done nothing for it. Lavovich. That's as best I can do that. But he's now commuted his sentence. Yeah, he served 8 years, but think of the crime. Well, you got to think of it this way too. That is white collar crime. You can't keep somebody in prison for years. And I guess suddenly, having met him just one time, he feels sorry for his wife and kids. So he let him out. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, and I just want to touch on all of us have problems, and I'm not any different. Today, I discovered earlier that our smallest made by cabinet is made by the Amish. Uh, Little heater, it sits on top of a food tray that we have around here, and I found it's not working. But I think that is same problem. I hope that I was dealing with our other heater that we use in the living room and the bedroom. I'm going to use the vacuum cleaner on it a little later, and hopefully that will work again. Because again, we've got colder weather moving in here. At least from the sunshine of the last 2 days, a lot of our ice is out of here, even though it's in that shadow out of 80-foot house for most of the day. So that's the good news on that. That is melted away enough. It completely dried the sidewalk with the winds we had last night. And it was only 27 this morning. Today's high, I think, is supposed to be 37. It's probably reached that and a little bit warmer than that. I will remind you again, and I think I can. I see the phone number, so I don't have to worry about it. But keep calling them, keep ding donging them. I am so tired of hearing Moscow Mitch every time he comes out. My Missouri state senator is there like he wants to give him a little kiss on the neck. Makes me sick. He needs to go home. Josh Hawley, that took Clara McCaskill's seat, needs to go home. This whole party is in disgrace. They need to learn a lesson. They need to start their Republican Party over And maybe later on sometime they can work their way back in, because you don't kiss somebody's butt the way they're doing uh, Miss Moscow Mitch and Donnie the Dollard in the White House. And you might notice I'm trying to watch my language a little bit. Uh, I know that I do the cussing on here, and people weren't cussing in that live chat. Now I don't have that, and it makes me wonder what's going to happen next. Facebook screwing up on us. Let me move this stuff. I can see it from here. All right, House Judiciary. Keep ding donging them at 202-225-3951. That's 202-225-3951. Keep calling them. We need this man impeached, because just today, Donnie said that Bill Barr is a very honorable man. Give me a effing break. Damn. Hard-headed SOB. All right. I also want to remind you my P.O. box. I'll be putting out my meme or post, whatever it is, about we are the Patriots. We are the Patriots. We are the guardians of liberty. If the Blue Dot family wasn't here, I might not be here, because of all the support that I do get, and your cards and letters uplift me. Your donations help me keep things going. And I can also will be putting out my PayPal.me, Randall Curvin, later on. The greatest thing that you give me is just like you do for John. You give me your time. I keep you informed. You keep me informed and support me with sending me memes that I get out there. And they're all good sources. It's only occasionally somebody accidentally sends something to me, and I just tell them that, I fact check things, and I just can't put something out uh, just because it's mean and nasty. We cannot use all their tactics. They, and I'll wind this into winding down to the end, they are using something that looks like the census forms and says something about the 2020 census in it. But at the very bottom, it says Republican National Committee at the bottom. So do not be fooled by it. See, this is going to sow confusion about the census. People are going to fill this out, send it back to the Republican Party, and they're going to think they already did the census for 2020. Just another method that the Republicans use to cheat, because they can win no other way, and they know it as a party. Voters probably don't realize it, but their party realizes it, or they wouldn't keep up with the gerrymandering, purging votes, uh, throwing out registrations. That's the only way they can win. They can only win by cheating. So we had to fight a hard battle, and the Blue Dot family, I know we can get this done. I know that our people will get out and work hard to do something for the most important election cycle in our lifetime. I appreciate you coming. I want you to share this shit. I'll be getting out to the other places that I send it to, other groups. We're -1 now because I've been deleted off of it. I don't mention names here, but you know who I'm talking about. I will see you on Facebook tomorrow, probably around my usual time. Depends on the news dump. Well, you're not going to get a lot with the caucus activity. They'll probably be covering that more than anything else. But there's a record too, and I'm hoping it's a good record. It's the first time Nevada caucuses had early voting starting last Saturday, with 26,000 people have already voted. And according to what I heard last night, uh, a lot of that, 51%, is first time voters. I just hope it's not some kind of ploy after what Donnie was requesting for Republicans to vote on it for Sanders, because that's who he wants to take on. All right, I'll let you go. I have nothing against any candidate other than Michael Bloomberg. We're finding out more and more about him all along. He's saying one thing, he did the opposite in New York City. I'll let you go with peace, resist, persist, and insist. You call those numbers, and let's keep letting them know we do not want a banana republic. We will not accept it. And when that man is defeated, we will get in the streets and take him out of that White House if necessary. Have a good one. Peace, resist, persist. See you later. Share this shit and have a great evening. I'll be at the meeting later on. Bye bye.